Message from the author. That's me. Emotions, what are they? And can you really control them? Well, first, let's define what emotions are exactly. Emotions are basically feelings we all experience consciously from time to time and are often accompanied by either physical and or mental behavioral changes, whether positive or negative. A few examples of everyday emotions might include anger, a basic emotion that can be characterized by feelings of hostility, agitation, frustration, irritability, rage, and antagonism. There's also fear, an unpleasant emotion that arises in response to perceived dangers or threats. Sadness, an emotional pain associated with the feelings of disadvantage, loss, despair, grief, helplessness, disappointment, sorrow. Then we have disgust, an emotion that tends to happen because of something you dislike. Surprise, an emotion that arises when we encounter sudden and unexpected sounds or movements or people or whatever. Surprise! Anxiety, an emotion characterized by feelings of tension, worried thoughts, physical changes like increased blood pressure. Yikes. Guilt. There's an emotion that human beings experience in response to an action that they have taken, a thought they had, something they said, a feeling they experienced, or a way they made someone feel. Hey, I'm sorry about that. I feel guilty. And then we have happiness, an emotion that occurs through feelings of joy and satisfaction and contentment. Now, emotions are often intertwined with mood and temperament and personality and disposition and creativity. Does it sound pretty spot on so far? The question becomes, how do we control, manage, and even protect our emotions in order to help improve our daily lives and our interactions with others so we don't experience so much anger, guilt, fear, anxiety, disgust more often in our lives, and yet feel more happiness, joy, and pleasure more often in our lives? That's the goal, right? Now, can we really control our emotions to generate more positive outcomes and how we feel most of the time? Well, to some degree, yeah. But on the whole, not really. And what I mean by that is what really governs our emotions is our mind, our actions, what we say, what we do. Emotions typically come about through something you either say or do, whether positive or negative, or something someone else says or does to us, whether positive or negative. That's the kind of stuff that's a little bit out of our control. So can we control our emotions? To some degree, yeah. So, for example, I gave you flowers. How did that make you feel? Happy? Or, you hurt me with your words, and that made me feel sad. Or I experienced some kind of emotion in a situation, and because of that, it left me feeling kind of happy, sad, fearful, ashamed, etc. So you see how much our emotions are really just the result of internal or external thoughts, activities, actions, words, and or deeds, or any combination of those. If that's true, then what do we really have control over to help us experience those happy emotions more of the time and not sad ones? So if we're not totally in control of our emotions, then what do we really have control over that can help influence our emotions? And what we do have near total control over is what we, number one, do to others and ourselves, whether positive or negative. And number two, what we say to others and ourselves, whether positive or negative, that ultimately causes our emotions to evolve or respond quickly or long-term into, number one, positive feelings and emotions, or number two, negative feelings and emotions. So you see, this is like either or. So it's what we either do or say, and whether it's positive or negative. Those are the things that greatly influence our emotions and to which we really have more control over. So such feelings or emotions can affect us physically, mentally, financially, spiritually, sexually, or some other aspect of our life that may even be unforeseen in the moment when statements are made or actions experienced. Such words and actions can also have a short-term impact for the good or not so good, or long-term impact for the good or not so good. So you see, truly understand what emotions are, how they're generated, and even prevented is vital to our leading a stress-free life and having more peace of mind throughout life. Who doesn't want that? Who doesn't want both of those, right? I mean, think about it. If you lead a pretty stress-free life, you'd probably maintain good health, live long, be a joy to be around, and not the opposite. If you have peace of mind throughout life, you're probably good to yourself, a great mate to someone, a great friend, a great family member, neighbor. You're confident, relaxed, at ease most of the time, if not all of the time. You get the idea. You see, you can just imagine what life can be like if you had both of those qualities coursing through your life, like mine. On the contrary, you can also imagine what's really eating away at most people today, which is stress and worry, or a lack of peace of mind. Why and how do they experience so much stress and worry? Well, let's discuss. Now, while nothing cures all things, nor at once, we must start somewhere to begin to alleviate that which is causing our lives so much stress, worry, anxiety, hurt feelings, regret, depression, feeling empty, feeling hopeless, worthless, guilty. Oh, geez. I think I better stop there. We don't want to be reminded too much of where some folks are or where we might be if we don't, number one, protect ourselves, our hearts, our bodies, and our minds from what comes at us or what might come at us unexpectedly, and prevent ourselves and others from doing us harm, whether by the spoken word or by deed or action. This is important if we want to kind of live, again, stress-free, little peace of mind. Got to protect ourselves, our emotions. We have to prevent other people from doing that to us. We have to prevent ourselves from doing things to ourselves that could cause our emotions to not be good.